Hey guys, welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. Look, we got another toy. Look at this beauty. We got this at the Jackson's Auto Wreckers auction number 3. It wasn't kind of like from Jackson's Auto Wreckers, but the people that own the place, they've got, other places, and they'd brought this tractor down from one of their other places for this auction. So I kind of went and looked at it on preview day, and the first thing I saw was a really nice set, all 4 Goodyear tires. They both front and rear match side to side. The tires are really nice on that. And apparently it runs and drives. Air quotes, runs and drives. That could mean a lot of things to a lot of people, but I said, hey, I'll take them at their word and we'll go for it. So when the bidding was going on, we were successful and we secured this. It is a 1959 International Harvester B275. It was made in England. We'll get a little bit more into the history of them after. We were able to, yes, get the thing running, and it drove up onto the trailer under its own power. It was pretty smoky at first, but as it ran, the smoke did start to clear up. So the engine seems okay. It had oil pressure. So we'll go from there. We'll look into things and see what we've got, but I think it's okay. So these guys are part of the B series of tractors that International Harvester built in England, but shipped all over the world. You'll find these things in Canada, the United States, Australia, Europe, everywhere. They were a good tractor. The original version was the B250. And then I think they came out in 1955. This one here, the B275, came out in 1958, and it had several improvements over the B250. It had an 8-speed transmission instead of a 5-speed. They fixed up the hydraulics a little bit, gave it a little bit more flexibility. They, I think it's got a little bit bigger engine with a little bit more horsepower. A few little things that they did. So, and then after this came the B414, which was an improvement again upon this. But these guys here, the B275, were made between 1958 and 1968. We were able to clean up the tag enough to read the serial number as 11424, which puts it as a 59, a very late 59. The 1960s started around 12 something. So this is in probably the last 500 or 1,000 1959 tractors made. So technically, we'll go over the technical aspects of this thing a little bit. It's 38 horsepower advertised. It's got a 4-cylinder engine, not a 3-cylinder. It's got live hydraulics, live PTO. It's got a diff lock. It's got position control and draft control. These were not available with power steering. The B414s were, but these were not. You can see back here, rather than the Farmall fast hitch that you'd find on tractors built over here, this has got not a Ferguson 3-point hitch, but International's version of a 3-point hitch. I guess it's as close as they could make it to a 3-point hitch without getting sued by Harry Ferguson, right? Or maybe by this time the patents were running out and it was a free-for-all. I don't really understand how all that stuff works, but it's got a 3-point linkage on the back. That's the main thing. It also has a factory swinging drawbar. That's good. It's got there's the PTO. It's just your normal 1 3/8 PTO shaft. This thing here that's all cut off with a torch, I'm not really sure what it is. It's got these brackets too. It does have, I found that bit of sway control. I think that's a piece of sway control. There was only one. It was on this side kind of hanging off. I'm not really sure what that all does. I got to see if I can find something in the book. We can see here the tires. They're really nice. They're Goodyears. Beautiful. 13.628 on the back and 616 3-rib Goodyears on the front. I'm liking those. That's such a big thing with these old tractors. Even if they don't run, man, if you can find one that's got 4 really nice tires like this one has, you're winning. Other stuff I liked about this, yeah, it's an old tractor. It's a little banged up here and there, but for the most part, everything is still on it. All the original tin is still there. It's got its original lights. The Butler lights on the top of the fenders are gone, but you can get those. It's got its original work light on the back. I'm not sure about it should have a license plate holder and a license plate light somewhere on it. Maybe on the back of the seat that went. I'm not 100% sure. Have to do a little reading. It's got the toolbox. This one does not have a tachometer. I'm not sure if it's an early versus late thing or if the tachometer was simply a dealer installed accessory. But it would go, you take this plate out here, and there's a different plate that goes in, and the tachometer sits right there under the steering column. So it's something that could be added if desired down the road. And aside from that, I think we're just going to start going over this thing a little bit and making a list of what it needs to get it back amongst the living. Like I said, I did have it running long enough to drive it up on the trailer, but it was smoking pretty badly. Although the smoke did kind of start settling down a little bit. What I did notice, there's nothing in the radiator, and I see here both the taps are open. The drain taps are both open. I'm not sure why that is. So we might just fill it up with straight water for now. And we can drain that at any time because it's getting to the cooler time of year, right? So I think that's what we're going to do now is we'll just start going over stuff, and then we'll get this thing fired up, get it off the trailer. I don't want to try putting air in these tires while it's on the trailer, just in case they're full of calcium. I don't want calcium running out and going all over my trailer, right? It felt pretty heavy when I put it up here. Like I had to drive it this far up to get the tongue weight back on the hitch. So I kind of get the feeling that the tires are loaded, but it may just be a heavy tractor. I'm not 100% sure. We're going to find out though. Once we get the hood open, we can see the engine a little bit better. It's got Lucas CAV fuel injection on it. There's your filter there. This is an earlier one, so it's got an inline pump. The later ones had a rotary pump. It's a diaphragm controlled pump. There's the diaphragm there. Over on this side, you can see we've got a Lucas dynamo. Here's the exhaust. It's cracked right around there where the pipe is joined to the flange, so it shoots a lot of smoke out here. This is the hydraulic pump, oil filter. You can see somebody has been sort of maintaining this. It's got newer rad hoses on it. So I'm not really sure how bad this thing really is. We got ourselves a great big Group 49 battery from the Wreckers. It seems to fit in there perfectly. And it cranks it over, no problem at all. When I had it running, I did notice it's not charging. So I think we're just going to go ahead and just put a GM alternator on it. So long as I can get it tucked up under the hood. Might have to do a little experimenting there. And check this out. I already had the I&T shop manual for this because Deb's dad used to have one of these tractors back in the day. So I ended up with the book for it. And then the owner's manual, I was looking around online and I was finding them like reprint ones for 40 and 50 bucks. Plus shipping, eh? And then I find this one on Marketplace, like literally half an hour from my house. And not really a half an hour from my house because I was going somewhere else the other day and I had to pass right by these people's house. So I got the original owner's manual for $5. And all from the same neck of the woods. Maybe this is the original book that belongs to this tractor. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. So we're going to start this adventure by closing these valves, if they'll close. That's interesting. They've been open for a long time because they're stuck. My mistake, these are just goofy backwards valves. See, when it looks like it's open, it's closed. When you go to close it, it's open. So we're just going to go ahead and top the cooling system up with clean water. And we're going to have to drain it out and put some glycol in it. But clean water will get us going for now. The engine oil is gross, but it's full. It's not all full of diesel fuel or water, so that's also a good sign. And you can see it's got a flip hood like a Ferguson, so you know I like it already. Another thing we noticed when we were goofing around with it over at the auction, there's either something wrong with the starter drive or there's a bald spot on the ring gear. That's going to have to be addressed. A lot of times when you go to start it, it just grinds, right? So once we get it rolling, we'll get it in the shop and at least pull the starter off and kind of turn the engine around and see what we can see. See if the problem is the starter drive or the ring gear. Fingers crossed it's something with the starter or the drive. That's a lot easier than having to split it to deal with the ring gear, right? But if that's what we got to do, that's what we'll do. Now, when we go to start this thing, a lot of these old tractors had the old, like early diesels, had different ways of getting them going. Some of them had, like our Oliver, it's got a grid heater in the intake manifold, much like a 5.9 Cummins in a pickup truck. This relies on good old-fashioned glow plugs. You can see them here. And what you do is this here is the switch for that turns on the glow. And then this here is the indicator. You watch, that'll actually turn red and start to glow inside there once these grid heaters are hot or glow plugs are hot. That's how that works. I'm not sure if the glow plugs are working or not. We could pull them all out and test them one by one. But for now, we'll just leave them in there and see what happens. I did have, when we were at the junkyard, I did get this heated up once. But just because this heats up, it's just in parallel with those. So just because this heats up doesn't mean that these are heating up. I had to put it with glow plug in a can, so to speak. I had to shoot some ether down there to get it going, and that got it going. Now, once we'd had it running once, it kind of got some heat in it. The second time we went to start it up, to get it up the trailer, it was a lot better. So, I don't know what else to do at this point except pull the trailer ahead, and we'll see if we can get this thing fired up and backed off of here. And I forgot to show you these cool wheel weights on the front wheels. I like them. Alrighty, well, let's see if we can get this thing going. I'm going to try and get it going. I'm going to try and get it going without Happy Spray first, but if we have to use Happy Spray, we'll use Happy Spray. We got to make sure it's in neutral. We'll put this thing back on. My little mushroom. Alright. So, ignition on. We're going to glow it. Throttle wide open. We'll glow it for a few seconds anyway. Okay, now we'll hit the starter and see what happens. Oh, there we go. It always seems to stop in the same place, I think. There we go. There, try it there. And the starter seems to have a... It's not cooperating. There she goes. Oh, almost. it'll be starting up in the middle of winter. It seems to have a bit of a mist too. But anyway, we'll get it off the trailer. She's starting to smooth out now and run on all four. She's over fueling big time, so we might have the rack sticking. There might be a problem with the diaphragm on the pump, or it could just be the injector dribbling a bit. It's hard to say. But anyway, what we can do at least is get it off the trailer and start by blowing up the tires. I wonder if the hydraulics work. Well, you could hear it load the engine when I pulled the handle up, but it didn't do nothing. One thing at a time. Well, it's looking a lot better now. We got the tires blown up. It stopped smoking, although it does idle fast. There must be an adjustment for that somewhere. We'll get into the book and see what we can do about that. But we can take her for a ride now. We'll try her in second gear. Clutch needs adjusting too. It's supposed to have a two-stage clutch. I can only feel one stage. Now we're in low range right now. There's something funny with the brakes too. The one pedal is kind of low, and when I try to back up, I can really feel it fighting the brakes. So that's something to look at. But here we are, moving under our own power. Let's try third gear. Away she goes. I'm not going to put it in fourth. Yeah, and I can smell that it's still fighting the brakes a little bit. I can smell it. It's fueling. Okay, so now we'll stop this in neutral. Now we can pull this into high range, and we'll try first gear. That's not too bad. Before we do anything too much with this, I think I'm going to drain the fuel tank, put some fresh fuel and some sea foam or something in it. There we go. You can see how fast it's running, because it's fighting the brakes. Second gear with the engine revved up. This thing is loud too. Something not right. It's like it's popping back past the intake valves into the air cleaner. I don't like the sound of that. Now we can see size-wise how it compares to a little Ford. It's definitely got a little more wheelbase. It's taller, it's wider, it's longer. Definitely a bigger tractor. I haven't had much luck either getting the hitch to work. But again, we got to read up on it. See, here's the handle, and you can see it starts to move a bit. There it goes, and that's as far as it goes. Oh! A lot of this stuff I think just needs waking up, you know? We'll work on that. Well, I kept fooling around with the lever, and I got the hitch to come all the way up. The level box works. Let's see if it'll go back down. Yep, down it goes. Let's see if it'll come back up. You gotta keep fiddling with the handle. And it eventually comes up. So that's okay. We just got to get into that valve and figure out what's going on. We can fix that. Our work light even works. And so does our one headlight that's not smashed. And to shut it off, oh, we pull this thing here. And we're going to shut the fuel off. The fuel valve is down in there. We're going to close that completely in case those injectors are dribbling. It's hitting something. There we go. Fuel valve is closed. So that was fun. It runs, it drives. Yeah, it's got a few issues, maybe more than a few, but nothing we can't work through, eh? It's going to be a fun project. It's different than working on the little Fords and Fergusons all the time. We got something else to sink our teeth into and learn a little bit about. Thankfully, we've got the books, we've got the tools, and there's parts available. So we'll dig into this thing and see if we can make a nice machine out of it. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for tuning into the Claremont Classic Garage. I hope you'll come back and see us again next time. And until then, I'm Kevin saying so long for now.